Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the only Male Cruise. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. You know I want to hear from you. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Let's go to work. All right. Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the only male cruise. It's been a minute, y'all. I know. And it's been a minute for a reason. Okay. Shout out to Baby Shay, number one mod, always pulling up. Appreciate you being here. So I can't even stay on long. I just wanted to, add in my contribution to the free R. Kelly. And let me take a quick moment and say this. All this drama going on, I've read the motions. I haven't been live because, you know what, y'all, this thing has bothered me so much. All of this outside interference into this R. Kelly case. And, like I've been saying, this really is a social justice issue. How can people who have absolutely nothing to do with a legal case, how are they able to just come in and interfere in a legal process? That's ridiculous. Now, for me, with the Larry McGee's and the this and that, listen, I wasn't around covering the Kells thing during that time. So to me, it didn't make sense for me to try to get in and act like I knew what I'm talking about. That's not how I get down, y'all. So I wasn't getting ready to get up in here and be like, yeah, ooh, look what Larry did. Because in my mind, I'm like, Larry who? That's why, some of y'all probably seen me in some other chats because I'm learning like y'all learning. I'm getting hip to the square like y'all are. But I'm hip to the square when it comes to this right here. So they had a motion to compel discovery that came in, I guess it was late last night, early this morning, from Darrell's attorney. Now, somebody please explain to me, how did the government, Assistant United States Attorney Angel Krull, she was the former lead prosecutor on this Kells case, and it says here she started in April of 2019. How is she sending emails she created a whole fake email, a fake name, so she could communicate about this case with Mr. DeGrotis, the very individual who was instrumental in spearheading this R. Kelly 2019 saga. Let me shout out to the people in the chat. I just need to let y'all know I appreciate y'all pulling up, especially since I haven't been here in a minute. Shout out to Pink Unicorn, another number one mod. Y'all do like Pink said, smash that like button. Shout out to Carolyn Marie. Appreciate all of y'all pulling up. Listen, y'all, I got my grandbabies in here from out of town. They're 3 and 4. So I expect in a few minutes it's going to be like, Granny, Granny, Granny. And so I already know that that's going to be one of the other reasons why I can't stay on long. But I got to bring this to you. Let me read this motion to y'all real quick. Darrell's attorney submitted this motion. Says here on August 1st, 2022, the government disclosed to Darrell copies of email correspondence between the Assistant United States Attorney Angel Krull, the former lead prosecutor in this case, and potential witness Jim DeGrotis, that took place in April 2019. This is before Kells was even indicted. Okay? In these emails, DeGrotis provided Krull a copy of his then unreleased book, Soulless, which was about Robert Kelly and many of the circumstances that will be at issue in this trial. An unpublished book, an assistant United States attorney, the man's not even indicted yet, and you're making up fake emails so y'all can holler in the background. You trying to, It says, what was peculiar about this correspondence, however, is that Miss Krull did not communicate with Mr. DeGrotis using her official government email account. Instead, it is apparent from disclosed communications that Kroll created a private Gmail account under a fictitious name to engage in surreptitious communication about the case with Mr. DeGrotis, a potential witness. Now, let me say this. They had that call on Kells today. They talked about Kells, they talked about Brown, they talked about Darrell. It was a pretty lengthy call, about a good 2 hours. Shout out to Tiffany only, please, because girl, I appreciate you hitting me up and reminding me that it was going down. But nevertheless, they discussed all this in motion. Now, here's what the government said. They were like, well, it's not a big deal, Your Honor. And I'm paraphrasing, but not much. It's really not a big deal, Your Honor, because, we don't plan on calling DeGrotis no way. So, we good. No, we're not good. We're not good. And just like with the motion that Bongine submitted about how come ain't nobody brought a case with this BOP and Tasha K situation going on. Bongine said, y'all looked into everything, but you haven't filed no charges. Nobody's been indicted. Clearly, this is a violation on multiple levels. And y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all about to sweep this under the rug too? So the government is like, well, it's no big deal that the assistant United States attorney came up with a fake ass email account and was talking back and forth with Mr. DeGrotis prior to Kells even being indicted. We good. We cool, Judge. We good. Because sure, we ain't going to call DeGrotis no way. But are you using anything he may have presented to you, which is mere supposition, mere his opinion, mere commentary from individuals who are trying to get involved in this case? Furthermore, Ms. Kroll ceased participating in this case in 2020 without filing a motion to withdraw. So the state is just doing whatever in the hell they want to. Kells attorney in New York had to ask to be taken off of his case. You can't just quit the damn case. But this lady, Ms. Kroll, without filing a motion, she ceased to be participating. Did somebody find out she was using that fake ass email? And they said, well, you can't do that, Angel. Now you go on over here to another office and work because you can't do this. So Darrell's attorney says, it is the understanding of Darrell's defense that she was transferred to another office in another state. Y'all are trying to hold Kells accountable for so much, but nobody else is being held accountable. You got people infiltrating his case, and y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me hurry up for these babies come up here, y'all. Hold on. Let me keep going. All right. So his attorney says, Kroll created a private Gmail account under a fictitious name to engage in surreptitious communication about the case with DeGrotis, a potential witness. It is also apparent from the disclosures that Ms. Kroll, using a pseudonym Demetrius Slovensky, created the email account with the username Pied Piper 312. Now, if that ain't no cultural whistle, come on now, Pied Piper 312. You got jokes, evidently, Miss Kroll. Uh-oh, y'all hear him, Granny. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. All right. Oh boy. Okay. It is also apparent from the disclosures that Ms. Kroll, using that pseudonym Demetrius Slovensky, created the email account with the username PiedPiper312 on April 16th, 2019, the first day it began communicating with Mr. DeGrotis. In other words, on that day, Kroll created an alias name for herself, Demetrius Slovensky, and a covert email account with which she corresponded with a potential witness. Moreover, the government also disclosed emails between DeGrotis and Kroll. In April 2019, in an April 2019 exchange, before requesting a copy of the book, Kroll references an earlier oral conversation with Mr. DeGrotus that occurred on that same day. The defense has received no report detailing this conversation, no explanation of why no such report exists, no indication that any law enforcement agents were present or involved in this conversation. Notably, the emails from Ms. Kroll's pseudonymous email account were sent at 5:33 p.m. and 7:07 p.m. on that date, after regular business hours. There is no disclosed report explaining the documenting of the creation of an alias or the surreptitious email account that Kroll used. There's no authorization for a government attorney to secretly correspond with a witness through a private email account to which an alias name was attached without the participation of any law enforcement officer. In the absence of such documents and information, a question necessarily remains as to how many other email accounts may have been created by Kroll in order to have a conversation on the lowdown. Come on now. Yeah, hold on a minute. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. These grandkids, they up in here stomping. Let me shout out to the chat. I'm about to bring them down there, and then they about to be like, yeah. Shout out to Tori Williams. Girl, long time no see. Hello, Mel. I heard this crazy mess. Yep, at 4 a.m. I'm trying to told you. Corruption at its finest. Y'all, this is ridiculous. Hold on. Lysandra Giller, girl, we all we got. Yes. Yeah, Pink Unicorn. Love the babies. Love the babies. Ernestine, what's tea, baby? Let me see. I ain't trying to keep y'all long. And I hope y'all ain't mad at me that I ain't been on in a minute. Toria says, I'm not surprised at all by this. They are some dirty dogs, and now that prosecutor is conveniently no longer at that office or the state. Whew. Purple couch in the house. On my lunch break in the office, hey, Mel in the chat trying to catch up. It's hot. These streets is on fire. And what makes it so bad is this is not the first time. This is not the only incident. Tasha K got involved and did her thing. And I know I've seen some emails. I'm going to say allegedly here. I know I've seen some emails where Tasha was like, I'm helping the government. I don't know to what she was referring. But the question is, have you made a deal with the government, Tasha K? And Tasha K, you're welcome to come on this panel and have a conversation with me. Okay? But are you helping the government now about this BOP? Is that going to be beneficial? Because there ain't no charges have been brought yet. So let me slow down, y'all. Let me slow down. Shout out to 50 Plus Life. All right. So no authorization, nothing. Don't nobody know nothing about this. Kroll out here just going rogue, going rampant, doing the damn thing her own way. And y'all have the audacity to say this is about justice. And y'all have the audacity to those who don't support Kells, have the audacity to call supporters ignorant and stupid because we're saying this was a railroaded kangaroo court type of legal progression? Come on. An additional email was disclosed from DeGrotus to the Demetrius Slovaneski account that was sent 2 weeks later, April 30th, 2019. In it, DeGrotus asks if the book was any help to Kroll and provides information about a conversation he had about the ongoing criminal investigation with a prominent enabler mentioned in his book that may be intended as a reference to derail. What help AUSA Kroll was seeking from DeGrotus through this synonymous email account remains unknown because there was apparently no report ever prepared regarding the conversation she had with him immediately before creating her alias name and the surreptitious email account with which she corresponded with him. So you didn't tell nobody before, you didn't tell nobody after, there's no documentation. What say you, Angel Kroll? Because there's nothing you can say. You were not in compliance with the ethical and law as it relates to this. But y'all got Kells railroaded. And y'all got a nice little RICO going so y'all can pull up stuff that he was already acquitted on. Something ain't right, and this is not fair. DeGrotis has always been known as a potential witness in this case. He was directly involved in making public the allegations against Kells that eventually led to the 2002 prosecution that is at issue in this case before the court. The circumstances of an assistant United States attorney taking steps to covertly communicate with him about an ongoing investigation are strikingly odd, to say the least. Mr. DeGrotis' direct involvement in the 2002 Kelly investigation made him a material witness in this case at the time that a government attorney chose to adopt an alias and surreptitiously communicate with him. The fact that this information was known to the government for years and only disclosed to the defense less than 2 weeks before the trial creates, at the very least, the appearance of impropriety which needs to be investigated. The government's August 1st, 2022 disclosure of these communications makes it apparent that screenshots of the conversations from this burner email account were taken in July of 2020. And if y'all have been checking out this case among the other channels like Texas Black Diamond, what's my girl's name? Spitting Fire, all of them, y'all. I can't even say all the names. A View from Tracy's Point. All of them have been showing the screenshot where Kroll responded to an email, which my understanding was from Larry McGee, which I have that stuff. I downloaded that stuff. But a screenshot where she responds back to McGee saying, "Thank you for this information." Now my understanding is her name is the one, and you'll see it in the screenshot. Her name is the one that signed. So I don't believe she communicated with McGee under that surreptitious email, but nevertheless, she still thanked him for some details. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna get lost trying to get up in here before these kids call me. Let me see. July 22, more than a year after the conversation took place and more than 2 years before their disclosure to Darrell. Okay, due to an extraordinary nature of these communications, Darrell asked the court to compel additional discovery about the circumstances of the conversation, how it came to light, and its disclosure, i.e., why are we just not finding out about this? Tell us, what made you tell us this now? Oh, and what's the government going to say? Well, we just found out. Stop it. Stop it. They're trying to, I feel like the government now, for the case coming up in 2 weeks, y'all trying to disclose all this now so that would it come back later and Kells was found guilty, this couldn't be held against them. So that's why on the call today, the government said, it's good, we cool, it's Gucci. We ain't gonna call the DeGrotis, no way. So, it's here nor there. It is here nor there. Is half of y'all case? Was New York's case based on a conversation with DeGrotis? Based on leads furnished by DeGrotis? And if it was a case, why is there no record of that? So what was you trying to do on the low? You trying to keep it low? For what, though? Let me keep reading, y'all. Hold on. All right. Due to the extraordinary nature of these communications, Darrell asked the court to compel additional discovery about the circumstances of the conversation, how it came to light, and its disclosure. Accordingly, Darrell requests an order requiring the government to disclose any and all reports of any conversations between the United States Attorney's Office for NDIL or anyone working on its behalf and Jim DeGrotis concerning Robert Kelly or Darrell McDavid. Any and all records of communication between the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Illinois or anyone working on its behalf and Jim DeGrotis concerning Robert Kelly, Darrell McDavid, including but not limited to phone calls made from office phones and cell phones, text messages, and any social media contacts. Any and all information between any prosecution team member with any potential witness, in this case, using a personal email address rather than an official of an official government email address. They're also asking for any and all records of communications between any member of the prosecution team with any potential witnesses in this case not memorialized in an official government report. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, come on. Okay, see, I hear him. Okay, they're also asking for Darrell and M's attorney is also asking for an explanation of who, other than Angel Crow, was aware of the pseudonymous email communications with DeGrotis in 2019 and whether the U.S. Attorney's Office supervisors approved that communication. Because that's the question. Y'all approved it and y'all didn't say, we need you to have this documented because we need to make sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. Let me check out these. I'm yelling at these grandbabies. Let me check out these comments real quick. All right, let me see. Exactly. Dada, what's tea, baby? Thanks for pulling up. Y'all be quiet. I'm on this thing. So go in there and sit down for a minute, okay? All right. Melissa Renee, girl, YTF girl, I appreciate you on Twitter, girl. You be putting up some stuff. So thank you for pulling up today. And thanks for all that good work you be posting on Twitter, girl. Y'all follow her on Twitter if y'all are on there. All right, keeping it going. Let me see. Lady Earth, hello. Y'all, thanks for pulling up. And while I'm going through these comments, just letting y'all know, Illinois is now considered an emergency state of monkeypox. So if y'all call yourselves coming to the shy for this R. Kelly case, okay, monkeypox is running rampant. All right. Let me see. Mel, my sugar, I love you, beautiful. I love you too, Dadal. Appreciate you all the time, girl. Yes, I appreciate y'all. Hold on, let me click through here. Let me see. Trying to see what y'all say. Mel, read those little notes at the bottom. It will tell you she's not. Yeah, I did. She's not at that office. In 2020, she cut up out of there, another state, another office, and didn't even put a memorandum in saying she's no longer on the case. Ooh, Sean Davy Way. Who ain't allowed up here, sweet baby? Shoot, who? Tell me who. Sean, I'll drop the link. You can talk to these grandbabies because they'll sure listen to you. Yes. Let me see. Just real quick. She said that she talks to the feds. Oh, you must be talking about Tasha K. She says she talks to the feds all the time, but that lady lies so much. If you did talk with Tasha, she would just, yeah, it would have to all be allegedly. But Tasha, hey, well, Sean said you can't come up here, so I'm gonna have to get permission from Sean Davy Way. So maybe there'll be a disclaimer that you can come up here as long as Sean is on the panel to make sure it's all right. Little Mac in the house, appreciate y'all. Shh, be quiet. I'm on it. Shh, be quiet a minute. Okay, these kids ain't gonna stop y'all. They've been running me rampant. Let me see. Tiffany on the police say at this point, at least, this trial needs to be rescheduled since buried corruption is being exposed weeks before it starts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get back to the rest of these comments, but let me read this too. Y'all keep on. Let me finish this. I'm through with y'all. All right. Let me see. So they want all records, an explanation of this is what Darrell's attorney is asking for. An explanation of who, other than Kroll, was aware of the synonymous email communications with DeGrotis in April of 2019, whether the U.S. Attorney's Office supervisors approved that communication, an explanation of why screenshots of the communications and the pseudonymous email account were taken in July of 2020 and not disclosed to anyone at that time. Also, a description of who was involved in the decision to disclose these communications and screenshots to the defense of August 2022. So who let this go on? And who is the one that said, you know what, y'all, we better get this over to Darrell and them, to Kels and them, to Bonjean and them, and show them that Kroll was up in here having these conversations. Okay? They want to know who made these decisions. Also, they're asking, any and all DOJ or AUSA policies and procedures governing the retention of account data, including but not limited to messages sent, received, and deleted, as well as the access logs for this email account and any other personal account used to communicate with potential witnesses. The above items are necessary to ensure that Darrell has adequate discovery in this case concerning potential improper influence on witnesses against him and to ensure that he has adequate information to intelligently determine whether any other motions may be necessary as a result of this unorthodox communication and disclosure. And wherefore Darrell and them moved for the court to order the disclosure and the items, blah, 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 signed by all of Darrell's attorneys. On the call this morning, Bonjean said, Your Honor, we agree with that motion. Join us in that motion. We're asking for the same damn thing. So we can expect more. We can expect Bonjean to put something in writing. So the judge, y'all, oh my goodness. So and I know I don't have enough time, but here's the thing. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I hate a choppy video. Shh. Okay. The judge got on the call today, and he called himself responding to all of the motions that I have gone over in previous videos. They weren't in writing. This was him doing this over that telephonic hearing, so the communication was horrible. And evidently he didn't have time. He did say on the call that they have the responses and we can expect the written responses to the motion in writing. It looks like he was pretty favorable towards the government as far as granting a good number of their motions. And a lot of the motions, that last motion, the motion in limine, a lot of the things that Bonjean had put in there, because the government had came back and said, well, we don't intend to bring up anything about his character or something like that. The judge was like, okay, so based on that, the motion is denied because it's moot. There is no point. There's no need to rule on this because the government said they're not going to do it. So boom, there's no ruling. That's what a lot of that was. Some of the motions he denied in part, but I'm not going to try to go through all that, at least right now. One, because I can't, because I'm sure y'all hear these kids in the back. And two, because I would rather read it all in detail. I got good notes, but come on. The other major thing about this thing today is they want to rush this trial, okay? They want to rush this trial for 4 weeks. The government already said it's going to take them 3 to 3.5 weeks to put on their case in chief. Now, here's the thing. They get to say what they got to say, and then how I understand it, all three of the defense are going to be able to do some cross-examining. What I'm not clear on is, do we have to wait? They're going to cross-examine, but then after the case in chief is put on, and then is Bonjean going to do like her opening, and then Darrell and them going to do their opening, and then June Brown and them going to do their opening. So, the judge did say on the call, he has a reputation for fast trials. Okay, that's sounding a little kangarooish to me. Okay, and then you had, they're trying to determine if they can have an overflow courtroom. And so you had somebody from the U.S. Marshal Service there. It seemed like he was trying to sway it by saying, well, we really don't need the overflow. Okay, first of all, U.S. Marshal, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. If you're told to have an overflow courtroom, then that's your lane. Make that happen. But it sounded like he was trying to influence the judge to just don't do an overflow courtroom. Okay. And so the judge was like, because this marshal was saying, well, we don't have enough people to monitor the overflow courtroom. And the judge was like, well, we good. We got CSP. And I think that's the county sheriff or something. We got the county sheriffs or whomever to monitor that. Basically what the marshals and them plan to do and are going to do is make sure that people are not in there recording, they're not in there taking pictures, things of that nature. They clearly intend to walk around, at least in the ceremonial courtroom, and make sure ain't nobody, sneaking a pic or, any recording devices. And I ain't mad at them, but that looks like that's what this marshal was trying to do, was say, look, we don't have enough people to monitor the ceremonial courtroom, and we don't have enough people to monitor the overflow courtroom. All right, I'm gonna have to go, y'all. So I'm gonna try to come back if I can, but these kids stay up later than me, okay? And it just is what it is. So I'm trying to bring y'all what I got, but listen, it's a shame. It's a damn shame. And this case is not about Kels, at least from my position. At this point, this is about how in God's name is the government pulling these fast ass tricks and hijacking this man. There is no excuse for this assistant U.S. attorney who just was taken off the case without even a motion announcing her withdrawal, who was doing all this secret ass communication, and nobody chose to hold her accountable. That's baloney. So, but I forgot to say this. Kels was on that call today, y'all. He sounds good. I don't know how he does it. He must know more than we know, because he sounded good. He sounded like Kels, like if you hear him talking in the video, but prior to him being locked down, he sounds like he's where he needs to be for this kangaroo court that's about to go down, unless this Judge Harry, come on. And Tasha K, what's up? Are you working with the FBI? Are you working with the FBI, Tasha K? Are you helping them? Anyway, y'all, let me run through these comments real quick for these kids make more noise, and I'm going to get on up out of here. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Truth of the matter is, y'all, I'm going to tell you, chances are I'm not going to be covering that R. Kelly case downtown. One, for multiple reasons, okay? But at this point, the main reason is going to be because Illinois is a damn monkeypox emergency state, okay, per Governor Pritzker. So plus on top of that, that parking is going to be $50 a day. The trial is supposed to be starting from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It just, to me, is not going to be cost effective. So I know a lot of y'all are subscribed to me because of this Kels. I get it. And if y'all decide to click that unsubscribe button, hate to see you leave, but I still love you. I ain't going to be mad at you. But yeah, it just is what it is. But I ain't getting no monkeypox for nobody. And, it's got to make sense for me to, because shoot, let's see, $2.50 from gas prices is still over $4. So it could cost me a good, I don't know, let me do the math real quick, a good $300-400 a week. No, I ain't going to do that. Sorry, y'all. These grandbabies, I could spend that on them. You heard? So anyway, y'all, that's it. That's the podcast. I will be back to give what I can. Be sure to like, share, subscribe if you want to. All right. But until next time, y'all, that's it. That is the podcast. Replay gang, leave a comment because I want to hear from you. And until next time, y'all, we will see you when we see you. Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the Only Male Cruise. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Let's go to work.